The Writing Center offers online tutoring services where students can speak to tutors via Blackboard Collaborate, either verbally or through the chat. To get online assistance from a tutor, students can either follow the link to access the chat room or go to www.epcc.edu/services/writing center, and then select Get Connected to access online tutoring. Upon entering the main room, students will see instructions directing them to virtually raise their hand and to let staff know that they are ready for assistance via the chat log. A few features students will use and where to locate them are as follows. The bottom center row shows availability, microphone, video, and raise hand buttons. Availability allows tutors and students to change their status to active or away. This way, both parties are informed as to whether or not the person on the other end is available or has stepped away momentarily. The microphone can be turned on and off, allowing for verbal communication. The same is true of the video chat option. The raise hand option notifies tutors and students that a student requires assistance. Also, at the bottom and to the right of these options, students will find the chat log, the active participants menu, the share feature, and the general settings menu. The chat log is indicated by the bubble icon. Selecting it will allow students to chat with tutors and assistants via text in the chat log. The chat log is a great option for hearing impaired participants. The active participants are located to the right of the chat log and are indicated by the people icon. Selecting it will allow students to see who is active. To the right of that is the share icon, which is represented via the square with an arrow pointing to the right. This is used to share documents and screen sharing for tutoring purposes. Next to that is the settings menu, indicated by the cog icon, which has general settings options available when selected.
Once students have entered the main room and are ready for assistance, the first thing they will do is raise their hand and type in the chat that they are ready for help. Afterwards, students will be greeted and transferred to a tutoring room with an available tutor. There, the tutor will either use the chat or the microphone to request student information before the tutoring session starts. This information includes the student's ID number, their full name, the class the assignment is for, the instructor's last name, and the student's school email address. The instructor may require proof of a student's visit. This is given via a verification email that can be requested from a tutor. Once students have provided the above information, the tutoring session can begin. Students can access different features to help during the tutoring process. These are mainly found through the share icon. The options available via the share feature are as follows. First is the Share Blank Whiteboard. The whiteboard has the select arrow, the pointer, the pencil, the shapes, the text, and the clear features at the top. The whiteboard is a blank drawing board that can be used by the tutor or the student. Be aware that the trash icon will delete the entire board, so students must be mindful not to select it on accident. The whiteboard isn't usually used during tutoring, but it is an available option. Second is the Share Application screen, which allows students and tutors to share either their entire screen, an application such as Word, or their web browser. Sharing the entire screen is a great opportunity for students to share assignment information that is generally found in emailed materials or on Blackboard while the document is open in Word. The Share Application screen is one of the preferred options. It allows students to stay in control of their own paper by making changes suggested by a tutor that the students approve of. Alternatively, students can email their tutor the assignment. Tutors can then work through it, leaving comments as they go while the student observes. In this case, the tutor is likely to share the Word app via the screen sharing option. These methods ensure that the tutoring session remains interactive between both tutors and students. Third is the ability to share the camera. This allows either the tutor or the student to activate their webcams like the general camera option does. Generally, this is not used in tutoring sessions as the focus is on the student's written work. However, if needed, it is the exact same as the regular video function at the bottom center row of icons. Finally, there is the Share Files option. This feature allows students to upload their documents so tutors can review them. Bear in mind, only one document can be displayed at a time. Also, it is important to note that in order for a document to be shared, it must be formatted as a PDF file. The student will select the Add Files option. Once the PDF is successfully added to the files available to be shared, students or tutors must click on it and press Share Now, which will be at the bottom of the menu. Students will know that they have successfully shared the file once it appears on their and the tutor's screen. This feature is beneficial to use because it allows both tutors and students to mark the page. However, any marks made on the page will not be saved. This means progress must be made on a page-by-page basis. So students must be careful not to change pages without confirming to do so with their tutor. Because of this, it is important to take notes during the session. It is also advisable for students to screen cap each page for their records and edits. This method of sharing has the same features as the whiteboard. If students need to enlarge the document, they can use the magnifying glass icon to zoom in or out of the document. Once a tutoring session has concluded, students should make sure to request a verification email if one is needed. It is then time to leave the session. This can be done by either clicking on the student's icon at the bottom and selecting Leave Session, or students can also go to the top left-hand corner and click on the stacked 3 lines and select Leave Session from there. Alternatively, students can also exit out of their browser entirely. We hope students have found this video helpful.
Online writing assistance is available via the EPCC Writing Center website. You can meet one-on-one with a tutor virtually on Blackboard Collaborate. Audible and written feedback is also available via email submission. Please visit the Writing Center website for more information and operating hours.